September's never such a great month at the box office, and I gotta say that September of 2013 is kinda evidence for that. There were films that came out that were good quality movies, but from a box office standpoint just did not do that well. Anyways, let's start to break it down, shall we? September 6th, we had Riddick, starring Vin Diesel, the third in the franchise, and with a budget of $38 million, it made just about $85 million. Now, the predecessor made over $100 million worldwide, and the original made about 53. This kind of lands in the middle. So I never thought this would do that well in the first place. It's done okay. It's made its budget back, a decent profit, but not the 100 million mark that I expected. Insidious Chapter 2 actually did pretty well considering the fact that it had just a $5 million budget. These horror films are pretty easy to shoot in that sense, and $82 million, that's pretty good. I mean, the first film was also a success. It was well received. It made $97 million, but its budget was a lot less. Not that that makes much of a difference. $82 million is pretty strong. Then on the 13th of September, we have The Family, or Malevita. Yeah, I haven't seen this film. Budget of $30 million, made $32 million. Robert De Niro doesn't seem to be such a big sell anymore, which is kind of disappointing. And then we have another film called Battle of the Year, which came out on the 20th of September. $20 million budget, $8 million gross. Yeah, that's kind of sad. I mean, not a lot of people that I know went to see this. Chris Brown, Josh Holloway, and Josh Peck. I'm a little surprised that they didn't pull in enough of an audience, but nonetheless, I would never thought that a film like Battle of the Year would end up doing that well in the first place. Now, September 20th is Rush. We have Rush, which is directed by Ron Howard. Supposed to be a great movie. One of the few that I missed that I will check out very soon. $38 million budget, $35 million gross. That is not that high considering the fact that Chris Hemsworth is on literally every poster. That's Thor. And that gets me thinking, will Thor actually do as well as some people are saying? Some people are saying it could make the $1 billion mark. I don't think so. But 750 plus does not seem that difficult to reach. So I'm not sure now, just thinking about it, that Chris Hemsworth as a star was not able to pull in enough people to watch this, just as the film got its $38 million budget back. So one can't say, I guess time will have to tell. Another film that came out called Prisoners. Yeah, you should have seen it because that movie is amazing, really. Jake Gyllenhaal, Hugh Jackman, I've reviewed it. I have not stopped talking about it since I've seen it. I loved it. $46 million budget, $47 million gross. Would probably close out at around 50 to 60 million. For this kind of film, it's good. And again, Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal, I'm a little surprised. Two big lead actors that are in the film, A-list stars, did not manage to pull in as many people as some might have thought. Nonetheless, it's a decent gross. And finally, we have September 27th. First, we have Don John, budget of $6 million, made $12.7 million. Was not released in as many theaters as I thought it would have been. A lot of films that come out are released in 3,000 plus theaters at least. This was around the 2,000 mark, and it's currently made $12.7 million in just about a week. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Congrats to Don John. Congrats to Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And finally, I'd say this is kind of the saving grace for September. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. $78 million budget, and it had the biggest opening. $36.8 million. That's pretty good, to say the least. I have not seen this film again. I haven't had the opportunity to, but I will be watching Gravity pretty soon and reviewing it as soon as I can. So that's cool. Overall, though, September, it's never been a strong month. Those certain films, like I'll give you last year's example, even Looper. Looper was not a highly marketed, most anticipated kind of film for all audiences. Granted, it looked really smart and whatnot. Nonetheless, it was a great film. It was, of course, snubbed at the Oscars. That's not the point. The point is that it got over $100 million. Cloud Atlas, a big-scale, high-budget film, didn't even make its budget back. So September is a very dicey month. I think things start to stabilize between October and November, and let's hope to see if I'm right or not. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, this is MrFilmJack.